Defense would call Sarah Boone.
Sarah Boone, the sometimes sensational, famously viral Florida woman at the heart of Orlando's suitcase murder trial, took the stand in her own defense on Tuesday.
I moved the suitcase around a couple of times, just kind of on the wheels, and moved it around, and at that point it was funny. We were joking and laughing about it.
For hours under oath, Boone told jurors that she feared for her life after zippering boyfriend George Torres Jr. inside a piece of luggage in a drunken game of hide and seek.
Knew the tone, and we ended up, I guess, arguing back and forth with one another, and the things that he was saying very much frightened me.
At one point, the assistant state attorney wheeled out the very suitcase at the heart of the trial and made Boone step out of the witness stand to demonstrate how Torres got into the suitcase.
When he was in the suitcase, he was threatening you. Can you tell the jury what he was saying?
That he was going to end me.
This was a different story than what she first told cops when they arrived at the scene.
He thought it would be funny to be put in the suitcase, so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna joke with you and I'll zip you up and make him, squirm a little bit, whatever it is. But then I fell asleep.
In court, Sarah and her defense team fixated on an 11-minute gap in the now famous viral video of her taunting Torres as he begs for his life.
Sarah, I can't breathe, babe. Sarah,
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
But despite Sarah clearly ignoring Torres's pleas for oxygen, she told jurors what they don't see is an off-camera escape attempt where Torres got one hand free.
My fear was that he was going to break out of the suitcase knowing that it was a broken suitcase.
Which required her to stuff him back inside the luggage by poking and hitting with a baseball bat.
I kind of pushed, I held it with the skinny part here and then prodded at it, yes.
As long as he was in the suitcase, he couldn't harm you.
Correct.
The defense potentially is going to be battered spouse syndrome.
When we spoke with Sarah's defense attorney, James Owens, her ninth on the case, he told us that Sarah's testimony would be part of what is known as battered spouse syndrome, a legal defense that Sarah, who had a history of domestic violence at the hands of Torres, would have put herself in harm's way if she had let him out of the suitcase.
You either settle these cases or you go to trial. And this is a case that we're going to have to pick a jury on and see what the jury thinks is just.
Sarah says that she did her best to de-escalate the situation on the night Torres died.
I shook the suitcase, trying to get his hand to go back in, shaking it, and telling him that, please stop doing this, please stop doing this to me.
But when he responded, threatening further violence,
He would have made me unrecognizable, or I would have lost my life.
Sarah went to bed, leaving Torres zip tight.
If she let him out of the suitcase, she was going to be harmed. Based on him trying to get out with his hand, based on the threats he made while he had his hand out, and based on the threats he made while he had his hand inside just before she went upstairs.
And on Wednesday, jurors watched the defense exhibit of a video of George Torres smashing a TV. Boone's team says it is evidence of his violence. In the end, however, it may come down to whether or not the jury believes this one simple fact.
Did you believe that he could breathe in there?
Yes.